Hi, I'm Andrew Penaluna. I'm a Professor of Creative Entrepreneurship and I've come down from Swansea from the University of Wales Trinity St David. My journey here into biz to win the Queen's Award, the very honourable Queen's Award for Entrepreneurship Promotion, was a bit of a surprise. It was to do with things I've done with my students, for example. I've been very fortunate. I've been a student of my past students. So many students out there have helped me to become a better educator, and through that, learning from what they're doing in business, I've learned an awful lot. And what the other things that sort of happened, I've been working with Enterprise Educators UK, which is a group of very strong kindred spirits who share the education side and share the kinds of thinking, what works and also what doesn't work. And that's also been extremely helpful. And I think that's been a big part of my journey, is starting to understand how we as educationalists can help people to become more entrepreneurial. Along the way I had this bright idea. It didn't seem so bright at the time, but in higher education we have a quality assurance agency, a body that checks the standards and things of what we do in HE, which doesn't always go down that well with my colleagues, but we had the bright idea there was nothing whatsoever for enterprise and entrepreneurship. So we've now got some guidance from the Quality Assurance Agency, and one of those ideas that took off like a snowball. Since then, that's moved into Europe, working with the European Commission, working with the United Nations. But it's all about the entrepreneurial mindset. It's not necessarily about finance and business. I'm married to a bank manager who actually got me into this, by the way. But it was that mixing, I guess, of my wife, who was a bank manager, looking at me and saying, how do those businesses work, that started me to start really get sort of a grip and start to think about this. So, and ever since, it's been listening to other people. As I say, listening to my own past students has been phenomenal. 30 years of past students to help steer me. And understanding what it is that drives people. Why do they become entrepreneurial? How are they able to sort of climb the mountains that they do? So it's been a real learning journey. I've really enjoyed it. And to receive this award today is absolutely phenomenal. I'm quite humbled. My background helps me to deal with success and failure. I have this term that we use in education called glorious failure. We never see anything as being fixed and firm. It's only ever right for that moment. So if it doesn't go quite right, maybe its day hasn't come yet. Maybe you misjudged something and you need to reflect on how that was done. So the term failure actually becomes a positive thing. It's something to learn from. Glorious failures means that you've become aware of a problem. You may pivot, you may change your direction as a result, and that's all forward-facing as opposed to the normal negative connotations that you get with failure. Some people think that this is a little bit random, but one of the things I teach my students, and I'm being told by them is being very useful, is to stop and think about the question, when did you last have a good idea? And once you start to think about that, start to think about the time of day, the place, the situation, the environment. Everybody's slightly different, but you'll find if you're walking the dog, if you're having a shower, these are the moments that you will find your best ideas. You'll see connections, maybe obvious once you've made them, at those times of day, things that suit you. So as an entrepreneur, try and give yourself those moments. Be aware of when they are. Maybe keep a diary, maybe simply keep a pocketbook or use your phone. You need those moments. So when you are making connections you've never made before in your head, you have to be in the right emotional state to do that. A lot of research to back that up, but that's one of my top tips.